How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to the Blue Shifting, and welcome to chaosheadnoah, where you might notice something different on the screen. So I've done all the background work, and I am finally at the point where we can do, I guess, the true ending. We're gonna go through. We've got through all the endings. I've taken notes on the ones I didn't cover. There's a lot of stuff I'm gonna talk about, probably about them when we do the wrap up. But just to go, just say I will rank them all and talk about my thoughts on them all. I made sure to take lots of notes, so I'm not gonna forget anything that I thought was really interesting that I want to bring up, or where my thoughts were at the time when I was going through it. So I promise we'll be very thorough. I know it's always disappointing for some people that we don't cover every single thing, but that's just the way it's best to run on the channel. But we are finally here at this ending. Now, I looked at the spoiler-free guide, and it does say that in order to actually reach the end, you have to go through a series of choices, and it recommends you try and do it blind first time. So I'll try. We'll see. I just got to try and stick to my guts of what are the... I'm guessing it'll have to reflect the messaging of the various stories and branches we've covered so far, but because it's always yes and no's, and it can sometimes feel super vague, I would be shocked if I get it proper the first time. It kind of depends on what it plays out as, and if I have to, I'll look up the guide and I'll get through the right ending. So yeah, because if we don't do it right, it just does the default ending, so we'll know if we get to that point. But for now, we are going to jump right into things. So thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for joining me on the channel. I hope you're excited, because I am, and I think it'll be really fun to see how this plays out. Yeah. I don't know how long we have. I assume it's going to be kind of like another ending or whatnot. So we'll probably be a few parts we'll cover, but we'll get to it when we get to it. All right. Without further ado, let's get started. Chapter 10, Blue Sky. Okay, so... Oh my gosh, it's just gonna start us right here with the prayers and stuff? Okay. Okay, interesting. Oh, I really didn't expect it was gonna take us to this point.
兄と共に収容された病院。怪我人があふれた待合室の片隅にうずくまり、実の兄のしわくちゃの手を握りしめて、
Right.
右手の痛みに耐えて、目を閉じて祈るもう一人の兄の無事を。
Gotcha.
楠木優愛が祈る倒壊したビルの瓦礫。そこに埋もれるように横たわるコンテナの中で。
Okay. Is that supposed to be our house, or is she still at the hospital? No, she gets to the hospital. Her story's really interesting too, because in her ending, as we saw, she's Mia who kind of took up the persona of Yua, and now I should go watch that scene again, because now that I'm thinking about it, when she has her whole confrontation with her other self at the hospital, she's confronting the Mia part of her. And she's confronted with are you Yua? It's no, she's not. But she rejects the Mia part of her, and she kills that part of her. So she just fully embraces being Yua, which is kind of sad actually if you think about it. But apparently that's the happy ending.
彼の美少女フィギュアの一つを握りしめて。
Oh, why do you have one of those?
地震と火事で醜く変形してしまったフィギュアたちの姿に感じた胸の痛みに耐え、
Oh, okay.
目を閉じて祈る。
Sure, I guess if that's where you want to be, but
彼女を許してくれた少年の無事を。
Aw.
岸本綾瀬が祈る避難所となっている水明学園。その校舎の屋上で空を見上げて、
So she's back at the school.
神話が書かれた文庫本を握りしめて。
Yeah, that book, very interesting, that book. It's basically a delusion in and of itself, but it's weird because it's so, at least in her ending, it was really accurate to describe what was happening.
崩壊した渋谷を覆う不特定多数の妄想が見せる悪意の痛みに耐え。
Oh, okay. So the malicious pain of the numeral delusions concealing the collapse of Shibuya. No, I think that might be a reference to her ending, because like it turns out from hers that she sees the world as like a kind of like a rust-filled like evil delusion. She basically sees the manifestation of everyone's like more violent delusions overlap the world at all times. So it's like she's walking in a disaster zone all the time, and I guess maybe that's covering up like the actual disaster that Shibuya has become.
目を閉じて祈る彼女の歌を彼女の話を聞いてくれた少年の無事を折原梢が祈る新鮮駅の薄暗いホーム青い瀬名の震える手を握りしめて足の傷の痛みに耐えて目を閉じて祈る
Oh, your ending was so sad.
心の声で語り合ったクラスメートの少年の無事を
Yeah, that's very cool. I still think like that being able to talk in voice
青い
mental is
瀬名
cool.
が祈る
Hey, Senna. Man, it's
横
been a
たわる
while.
父の傍らに座り父の冷たくなった手を握りしめて最後まで素直になれなかった後悔の痛みに耐えて
Aw, that's so sad. Her ending is just genuinely depressing. Her like the private ending that she got and like her canon ending apparently. It's just sad.
目を閉じて祈る彼女のお願いに不器用ながら答えようとしてくれた少年の無事を
Yeah, clumsily is the word. Rimi.
咲畑リミが祈る冷たい床に横たわりながら彼へ伸ばした自らの手をきつく握りしめて傷だらけの彼の姿を見て感じた締め付けられるような胸の痛みに耐えて
It's so sad.
目を閉じて祈る自分が守ろうとした自分を助けに来てくれた少年の無事を
Okay. Come on, everyone. Let's see what we can manage.
僕は何もできなかった。君が行動したんだ。
You who acted.
その結果として、みんなが君のことを見てきた。君という周囲共通認識は、とっくに出来上がっているんだ。
Okay, so that's what this is about. Like the prayers themselves, there's nothing special about the prayers except for the fact that they all see Taku as a person, and that's kind of real booted him. Like, I mean, he was kind of already real, obviously, because people could see him, but like they're getting the mutual recognition of multiple Gigamaniacs is probably really helping.
これからは、いや、もうすでに。
Oh, okay. From this point on, you are
僕
real. You're real.
君は誰
Who are you? Oh boy.
君は僕
You are me. Okay, because this is where I can mess up and I'm like, we'll go just rocketing down like the normal path, which, you know, we're gonna try and avoid, but you are me. Yes.
僕は君
I am you. Nakami, Takumi. Yes.
僕なんていない
There's no me. No, there's definitely a you. You're real.
君なんていない
There's no you. No, he's real. This is all about reality.
僕は僕じゃない
I am not me. No. Like reality, you are you. That's the whole thing. You're a person.
あなたは鬼。
Aww. Although you weren't real, but we'll yeah, we're her brother. Yes.
あなたは西条くん。
Oh, this is so interesting. It's like it is like from the different routes because like there was Delusion Nanami, and now this is Mia. You're Nishijo-kun. We are, yes.
君は匠。
Yeah. Aw. I have a lot to say about her route. I'll say that much. Her route was very interesting.
あなたは匠さん。
Kozupi. Oh, don't remind me of that. We are Takumi. I hope I'm doing this right.
お前は西条。
Yeah, yeah. Oh, Senna. That ending was super dramatic, that's for sure.
あなたはタク。
Hey, Rimi. This is the coagulated Rimi. Not coagulated, the cohesive. Not, Rimi with all her parts brought back together.
僕は僕。
And then there's us confronting real sister. I am me.
僕は妄想の存在。
I mean, no, you're real. That's the thing, is you're real. So you're not a delusion, you're real now.
僕は存在する。
Yes, you exist. You exist.
僕は西条匠。
You are Nishijo Takumi. Blue sky.
僕はその声が聞こえた瞬間に
Okay. Come on. Come on.
意識が僕を固定した。
My consciousness stabilized me. Okay. I'm gonna save. Alright, so I saved. Because if I skip here... Oh, okay. Yeah, so we are... Darn it, I messed it up. Okay, so this is like the normal ending. Okay. So, alright, let's load.
君は僕。
Alright, well, that's annoying. What did I mess up? I felt like I was on the right track. Isn't the whole thing like, we're real? Okay, you are me. Yes. Okay, so that matches.
僕は君。
I am you. God, I wish I weren't so bad at these. Yes.
僕なんていない。
There's no me. There's no me. Nope, that's not true.
君なんていない。
There's no you. No.
僕は僕じゃない。
I am not me. No, you're real.
あなたは鬼。
Oh, okay. Alright, I think I can see it now because it's literally just yeses here.
あなた
So I was
は
right most of the time. It says there that one that says like you're a delusion. I guess that one's real, even though the whole point of this whole monologue is the fact that we are real, that we aren't a delusion anymore. But okay. Not sure how I was supposed to know that, but fine. God, it's still cool though. It is a cool moment. It's a cool reflection on everything we've done.
お前は西条。
That's still but I'm not crazy, right? Like my logic was pretty sound. I'm just so annoyed. Every time I've had to do these things where they stop my progress, and I messed up every one of them.
僕は妄想の存在。
Okay, so this one, like, I guess he was a delusionary existence. The whole point now is that he's no longer a delusion, he's real. But okay, I guess he is, yes.
僕は存在する。
I exist. I love that picture, by the way. They're so cute, the three of them.
僕は西条匠。
I am Nishijo Takumi. Yes. Now that should be the proper sky.
僕は
Okay.
その声が聞こえた瞬間に
Okay.
意識が僕を固定した。
Okay, so that's the
ぐちゃ
same.
ぐちゃにかき回されていた世界が一気に収束する。
Oh, okay, now that's actually kind of different. I don't know. So Here, one sec. We're gonna save. But I have a thought here, so I'm gonna save and then we'll double check something. Okay. I don't even need to do the skip actually, because I just saw that like the save name is not Silent Sky anymore, it's Blue Sky, so we did get it. Okay. I only had the cheat. Gosh darn it. But I feel like I was on the right track there, right? Like I'm not crazy. So this line right here makes me think about something. So in ISA's route, they talk about something really interesting. She talks about how the world is kind of more of this like network of possibilities. I honestly am going to use the term world line because it basically is exactly the same concept that we explore in Steins Gate, which is that different choices and different actions kind of like make this big web of like what could be, and then like kind of the world meanders like around this line. However, in Steins Gate, they basically say, hey, one line is canonized, but like there's all these fracture points and changes that can be made, and most of the time if you were to have a deviation, it kind of stays in the same path, but like adjusts based on like what you change. ISA's take on things was saying that like, oh, there's this big muddle of stuff, however, and they all kind of exist simultaneously, and that the world is kind of in a constant state of delusion, and that these different realities are kind of all existing simultaneously. They just don't contradict each other. It all comes down to like the observation effect and the idea of like the verification, which is what like lets delusions like that we bring in exist, is that like kind of mutual recognition, like where multiple people decide something's real because it seems real and it becomes real because of that. And that kind of is constantly happening. But then there's key events or moments where all of these kind of like reality, these webs, these potentials all kind of snap together into a point. And when that happens, like the whole world basically becomes like real booted. And that's the point where big things happen. In fact, that's what apparently a big part of what the Noah 2 is about. Is it's about forcing all the world lines into one, and that then dictates what the future is, because the machine can control like the delusion of the world. So that is interesting to see here, that one swirling world converges all at once. So it's all the delusions being pulled in together. And it's implying that he has the ability to pierce through and kind of do his own version of a coalescence, which is kind of funny because if you think about it, the Noah 2 might just be a mechanical version of what Nishijo Takumi is. Both the old, like the wrinkled old one and the Taku we've been following. Maybe the Noah 2 is an artificial version of them, which is why it's so strong. But we can do the same thing.
混沌は僕の理想度を形作って収束する。僕は僕としての形に戻る。
Okay.
世界は世界としての形に戻る。
So the world returns its shape as the world.
僕は
I am
僕だ。
me. Oh, so that's a cool take. Like I exist. I can see clearly now. All my wounds healed. My top and bottom halves are connected. I'm standing on my own 2 feet. The pain is entirely gone. Serenity fills my heart.
妄想によく打ち勝ったね。
Yeah, that's right. Because like the defense of the machine was about like protecting itself, and that so everything we were experiencing was just a like delusion on delusion. But we saw through it all. Now we're invincible.
僕の最後の力を君に託すよ。
Oh, this is cool. Okay, I wonder if this is what it is, because like it's Rimi's route, he entrusted Rimi with his last of his power, and they had a really cool power that they unlocked. Something I probably one of the coolest concepts I've seen so far was the attack that Rimi used at her finale, which is really neat. I wonder if we get that. I noticed Rimi at the edge of my vision. She's okay. She's looking at me. Tears are falling down her face. Don't cry. All right. Oh, what a mess that thing is. Oh. Oh, gosh. Oh, okay. So, Rimi's sword's here now. That's interesting. Oh, it's all the swords. Okay, first of all, this is just Gate of Babylon, right? Like, this is just straight out of the Fate series. But this actually lines up really well, because at ISA's ending, her whole thing was that in order to save the world from like the Galgadol or whatever the evil demon was, you had to gather all the swords together. She took that to be literal, and she said, when she got to that point, and she got the swords. Well, for one thing, I don't think she had Taku's sword. But then, like, the idea was that, like, it didn't quite work like she wanted to. I think maybe Taku, like, added his sword to hers. Maybe that's how it ended. And it did work. But, like, look at this. This is him pulling all of their D swords together. That's really interesting. Because, again, like, we know from, like, Kozapi's route, like, we can't trust these things worth a darn. We had another confirmation in Rimi's route too. These things are basically like vindictive. I made a note about it at the time too, where I said that, like, if you think about it, these things, whatever they are, these like channels for real booting, they could be anything. They're literally a delusion created in reality. They could take the form of anything. They're not bound by limits of any kind. But why are they all weapons? And I think it's because there's like an inherent maliciousness to them. I don't know if it's a will that they have or if it's simply just the nature of humans to pull out weapons in response to like attacks or whatnot. But anyway, don't trust these things, but I think they're the key. Directly behind me, space begins to warp. Prayers are brought into creation. The 6 gospels are perhaps the impulses of 6 spirits. All too pure, too graceful, too dignified, and apparently, like, we can't help it. There's fate figurines in the game. They clearly are drawing. This has to be an intentional reference. All too sharp, too ferocious, too destructive. Yeah. Again, like that whole idea that like they're leaned towards and primed to destruction and death. All too awash of their ill-omened beauty. I accept every piece of them. The 6 blades writhe above. Wistfully, or perhaps rapturously, they raise their streaks. They're gonna synchronize. Oh, baby. Now, what's really interesting, too, is that, like, we have another D-sword that's here. It's the one that's wielded by Nozomi. But why is he separate from us? Like, why are all of our fates entwined like this, but his is somehow not? Oh, baby. Here it is. It's a shard blade. A shard of reality. And fused with my D-sword. Ooh. Summoning my strength, I grasp the D-sword's hilt. I ascertain its feeling. My arms work better than ever. I've completely regenerated. You shut up. Oh, yes, but I'm the real monster. As in, I'm real. Not that I'm a monster. I focus my eyes on Nodose.
確かに。僕は化け物だよ。でもこれが。
So I can rescue Rimi. So I can destroy the Noah too.
僕が望んだ妄想だ。
Oh. Nodose's response is swift. He has yet to harvest the code sample of Nishijo Takumi. The delusion was supposed to corner the boy and shatter his psyche, but now the tables have turned. And that he cannot allow. Nodose closes the gap between himself and Takumi. Taking a specific angle, he swings his D-sword from up below. With a D-sword that can cleave in any known object, he diagonally carves through Takumi's chest. The target's durability makes no difference. Killing a person with it is as simple as slicing through a block of gelatin. With one quick swipe from Nodose, Takumi's body splits into pieces. His head, right arm, right shoulder, all sliced cleanly off his body. Internal organs litter the floor, but not a single drop of blood falls with them. The lower half of Takumi's body begins to give way. He braces himself and manages to plant his feet. I think we've given him, I think he's in the delusion now. In the following moment, the cross-section of his wound began to undulate and squirm. The music's pretty heroic considering what we're describing. A bubbling noise ensues. And in this following moment, the cross-section of his wound began to undulate and squirm. And then he regenerates. Unarmed, unharmed, unaffected. Even though his body was cleaved apart by a mere second ago, already a new head, right arm, and shoulder were born. His old head and internal organs remained where they slid free from him. Oh, that's weird. With a single step, Takumi approaches Nodose. Nodose clicks his tongue and turns over his D-sword. So it's almost like he's given like a a save state. So he slices him in half and he's just like, I'm back. Oh, that's gonna be weird. He's like, I can't feel pain anymore either, so it can't even hurt me.
肉体の形を捨てたがゆえにいかなる形をも取れるということですか。
あんたの見せてくれた妄想のおかげだよ。
Oh, uh-oh. He is unable to retain his shape as a human being. He took in the delusion and made it his own. This is not a regeneration, but replacement. Missing parts replenished. Flesh and bone are produced once again, all propagating infinitely from the dust within his body. His shape is not fixed. Like an amoeba, like a collection of slime, he can change himself freely. Oh, that's actually cool. He can just be whatever he wants. That is the reason Takumi calls himself a monster. Takumi takes yet another step towards Nodose. Nodose's frustration increases. Gripping the hilt of he thrusts his D-sword at the approaching Takumi. Takumi's head finds itself between a colossal pair of scissors.
脳を失えば妄想はできないでしょう。
You just cut off his head though, like before. Takumi's head is crushed. It splits like a watermelon. Blood and gray matter burst forth. Everything about the neck is gone, and yet Takumi's body remains. Regeneration. Replacement is instantaneous. Oh, that's kind of cool. Like they talk about how he's like an amoeba now. It's like if he no longer considers his brain to be only located in his head, his brain is technically just in him. As soon as his heel hit the ground, as if nothing happened. As if he was entirely replaced. His head returns right to where it was without a single scratch. Nodose awakens to an understanding he cannot win this fight. Physical attacks with his D-sword are useless. The delusional attacks denying the boy's reason for existence was taken in and used for an alternative purpose. The current Nishijo Takumi is all too removed from human normalcy. Oh my gosh, was that the key? His whole point? He was so like odd and so weird that it actually became his superpower. Oh my gosh. It's so poetic, it's sad. It's all too distorted of an existence. All too fitting as a monster. And yet, despite it all, Nodose has no intention of conceding. His next thought is to utilize Noah 2's power to bombard Takumi with innumerable antiparticles. Bombardment with antiparticles can transform any known existence into negative matter, ending ultimately in self-collapse. If disruption from the surface is not viable, then collapse must be undertaken from within.
そうなんだね。
Nodose's thoughts were read by Takumi. The shine of Takumi's D-sword transformed from red to black. A black flame embelts the blade. It wriggles forth, extending outward. Its shape resembled that of a dark colossal serpent. Oh yeah!
現れるのよ。
That roams through the dome as if constrained by it. Which, by the way, let's say, look at this. He looks so unsure of himself, considering what he is now and like how strong he is, but he looks so scared. Toward the ceiling, toward the floor, as though it's licking them up, as though it's scraping them away. It simply consumes.
写真の黒き大蛇。あらゆる崩壊を飲み込み、邪神王の身を砕くことのできる。糖質にして、異質なるものが。
Heterogeneity and its homogeneity. Heterogeneity. I need to look that word up. Because homogeneous means like bringing everything together. So what would heterogeneity read? I've never seen that word before, but it seems like it's real. Heterogeneous is diverse in character or conduct. In chemistry, it's of denoting a process involving substances of different phases, solid, liquids, or gases. So solids, liquids, or gases mixing together. And in math, it's incommensurable through being of different kinds, degrees, or dimensions. Oh, okay. So like, it's the idea that like you can have, when you have a basic algebra problem, you have like 3x plus 4y equals blank. but like you can't just add X's and Y's together, because that would be they're like the denomination of the the unknown integer, the X and the Y symbol, denotes that they're fundamentally different aspects and can be different aspects, because you can have a problem where you could take apples and add them together and have a certain amount of apples, but if you take apples and oranges, you can't combine them and have a certain amount of one thing. It would be a collection of apples and oranges. So heterogeneity is like where you're taking things that are like not compatible to mix together, different states of matter that cannot be met together. And in this case, it's saying instilling that kind of incompatibility into something that is fused together. So if he's a fusion, or he, as a Giglomaniac, if he can blend, delusion and reality, the snake, this wicked serpent, seems like it can forcibly separate the two. Basically, it's like can undo an awakening, basically. That's my interpretation of that. The body of the colossal serpent is composed of antiparticles. With a mere touch, it can send any known object into self-collapse. A torrent of destruction composed of near infinite greed.
触手芸はあんまり好みじゃないけど。
There and then, Takumi's D-sword swings, its pointed tip fixed on Norose. Imagine that's the last thing you hear before you die is, I'm not into tentacle porn. It's like, and then you're gone. Here it goes. The dark serpent, winding itself in a coil, curves its body like a whip. Its jaw snaps at Norose. Not once has Norose ever seen such a phenomenon from a D-sword. He cannot discern whether it was hidden power of all Giglomaniacs or merely Takumi's delusion. The dark fangs erode Norose's body and he begins to collapse. All too slowly, like a frog slowly dissolving in the belly of a snake. The darkness swallows him. He feels no pain. By nature, his death should be instant. But that is not what Takumi wished for. Realizing this, Norose's lips twist in a derisive smile. Norose had no fear of death. One could say that the ideals he pursued were accomplished within the completion of Noah 2.
私を殺してもノア2には誰も近づけない。永久期間なんですよ、それは。
Oh, that's kind of fun. Yeah, when you can make things, impossible things possible, a perpetual motion machine, you can definitely do. In fact, there's a good story, a short story called Yumi and the Nightmare Painter by one of my favorite authors, Brandon Sanderson, whose convention I'm at, by the way. When this goes live, I should be at that convention, assuming something doesn't go horribly wrong. But in that story, which is a really, really fun short story, there's actually a... Oh, no, actually, I shouldn't say because I don't want to spoil it. But this concept, like the Noah 2, is very similar to something in that story, and how that I guess I'll say existence. I don't want to identify it too quickly. How that existence operates probably is reflective very similarly to how the Noah 2 operates. Which is funny though, because I'm like 99% sure that Brandon Sanderson has never ever read a visual novel. Ever. Because I don't think so. He barely has watched anime from what I understand, let alone read a visual novel.
人類を未来永劫にわたって管理し続ける。ただ座して眺めているだけではない。人の幸福のために干渉してくる。人工の神なのです。
Yeah, but what are you supposed to do though? You set it up to just run itself? Under what dictates? Norose is a god inventor, so to speak. So long as Noah 2 continues to exist, mankind will not perish, and the eternal utopia Norose seeks will become real. However...
あんたなら近づけるんでしょ。
The serpent's body wriggles and rides with Norose in its grip, lifting his body into the air.
それならあんたは鍵だ。
Oh my gosh, he's gonna use him to attack it. Norose is astonished, but soon enough his face changes into an expression of pure agony. The serpent swings about his body with ease. Takumi shoots a glance at Rimi, their eyes meet. Just what is Rimi feeling as she watches him? Reading her mind would be effortless, and yet Takumi does nothing of the sort. Seems I was able to save you after all. He quickly averts his eyes. His gaze then shifts to the still humming Noah 2, the throne of God, where none may stand foot, a cradle which shows naught but dreams of bliss.
ごめん。
He apologizes to no one in particular.
僕は人類にとっての敵かもね。
The eternal utopia this device would bring, a future without conflict, Takumi will extinguish them with his own 2 hands. Is that right, or is it wrong? Takumi cannot give the answer to that. I don't
で
know.
も神話でもよくあるでしょ
It is pretty common mythology. And I also would say, like, it's hard to really, really, truly expect that a dream that seemingly seems so righteous could be born and succeed from a path covered with so much sin. So much torture, pain, and death. So much willingly committing these atrocious crimes, including, like, this final melt that, like, destroyed Shibuya. Like, how can that lead to a positive event?
神だって女絡みでうだうだやってる。
True.
だから僕も
Will sacrifice the happiness of mankind out of the love for a girl. Takumi, D-sword in hand, bent his arms in a gigantic arc.
突き破れ
He thrust it forth, just like a javelin. The colossal serpent of darkness charges straight ahead. With the bait known as Nodose impaled by its tip, it flies straight towards Noah 2. An enormous serpent of antiparticles capable of terminating any known object. It had no will of its own, thus it is not something that could be warped nor distorted. With the greedy impulse to destroy, using Nodose as the key, the delusional barrier is easily smashed to pieces. Interesting. Is that his swords breaking apart? Like Noda says, I mean. Oh, this looks familiar. Are we gonna die again? When did the rain begin to fall? There was just a huge explosion, and its blast blew my body away like it was nothing more than a rag doll. Next thing I knew, I found myself lying here. Those eyes are always watching me. The stare pierces through the thick pitch black rain clouds, and pours down on me like rain. Don't look at me. My body won't stop shivering, not from the chill of the rain, but rather the ice-cold rubble pressed against my back. So terribly cold. A gaze pierces me from the heavens. Who does it belong to? I can't say. As if to escape it, I raise my head to look at the environment around me. Yes, is this the same thing? There I see a ruined city. I see despair. There I see death. There I see nothingness. Not a soul is there. Not a soul is moving. Not a soul is left alive. The only thing I can hear is the sound of the rain continuing to pour. At this rate, everything. Both the living and the dead. Will all be gently embraced and washed away? How nice it would be if all this was just a delusion, but that doesn't seem to be the case. I can't move my body. I can only move my eyes and neck, even then, just barely. I can't use that monster's power from before. My body's shivering, but that's nothing more than a psychological phenomena. Interesting, so he acknowledges it. So this is different. It isn't happening by my own will. I don't want my body to tremble. If I can't move it freely, then it isn't my body. Or maybe I've never had free will ever since I was born. Which is funny because like this makes so much more sense now. Nobody knows exactly where the soul resides. Bearing that in mind, how can anyone say that there is a soul inside this body of mine? Again, I can see how this like means a lot more now than it did when I first read it, but then where exactly am I now? Am I really here? Am I anywhere at all? In this shattered world where all stands still, where all that can be heard is the rain of death, suddenly another sound echoes through it. Hey, Rimi. A single solitary existence begins to emerge from the sea of nothingness. Who are you? Is your skin so pale because it's been numbed by the chill of the rain? Or is it because you're already dead? And yet the girl isn't shivering. And those eyes of hers, nearly hidden by her bangs. Don't look at me. They look so terribly sad. They look as if they hold the hint of madness. They look as if they reflect nothing. If she and I were the only ones left in the world, if we stared into each other's eyes like this for all eternity, would my world be reduced to the reflection in her eyes? Would her world be reduced to the reflection in my eyes? The only thing reflected in her eyes is me. The only thing reflected in my eyes is her. When I think of it that way, the world immediately seems so much smaller. Hey, Rimi. Suddenly, a flash of static reaches my ears, one endlessly beautiful yet deeply discordant. She lowers her head and spreads her arms wide, almost as if preparing to take off, to soar high above the rain clouds. Which I think she could do, technically. Or as if trying to catch all the falling rain. All that's watching you. From where I am on the ground. Oh, she's talking about like whose eyes are those eyes? I can't see the expression on that lowered head of hers. So she's trying to comfort him about that thing. Behind the thin veil of rain, just what kind of face are you making? This is odd. I thought her sword was gone. I'm kind of impressed she can pull it out still. Is it really just going to end with her killing us again? An angel? Are those dancing feathers of light blessing me, or... Ah, I see. I finally understand. She's going to use that to kill me. The girl slowly kneels on the ground right before my collapsed body. It really feels like it is just going to end with death again, with her head still lowered. She gently takes my own in her hands. I surrender my body to her grasp. I'm just relieved that she isn't looking at me. In my ear I hear a whisper, garbled by static, but as beautiful as it is discordant. It feels like, why though? Why is it always got to end here? Why does it have to end like this every time? Besides the fact that we were able to just, like, nothing really changed between, like, the original ending and this ending. Like, ultimately, in the original ending, we still destroyed the Noah 2, and we die here? Why is it... What was the point of doing that whole sequence if not to just understand that, like, what Taku's truly capable of? There's nothing to apologize for. If I don't disappear, the other me, the real me, will die. So, that's why I'm okay with this. In fact, I'm really glad I get to be erased by you. It's not a bad end for a monster like me. I don't have any regrets. A warm, soft, gentle, sweet sensation. And miraculously, as if it were an anesthetic. The shivering in my body slowly begins to die down. Her soft breath tickles my cheek. It smells so sweet. Suddenly, I sense something pressing against my chest. The large sword she holds tears through my skin, bores into my flesh, weaves through my bones. It slowly sinks through the center of my body. But gifted with the anesthesia of her kiss, I no longer feel any pain. I would never have imagined to get such a kind death. Just the thought of it breaks my heart, leaving me on the verge of tears. Trying to hide them, I look past the girl's head up towards the ashen sky where the rain continues to pour. Oh. Oh. It is different. Her lips pull away from me. Her sad whisper trickles into my ears. Aww.
やっぱりタクを殺せないよ。
Yeah, I don't blame ya. Fetch me, though. It is different. I feel no pain. Her sword isn't rebooted. My body isn't injured in the slightest.
でも消してくれなきゃ本物の僕が
Will die. He will die. That's why I should die instead. That way he can stay alive for just a little bit longer. But here's the thing, though. The whole point of that whole sequence we just went on is the fact that you are real now. You're as real as he is at this point. I'm sure that's what you want to do.
消して消すんだ僕を
Aww. Rimi lightly shakes her head. Those eyes of hers waver as they stare at me.
好きなの。
Aww.
あなたの弱さが。
You imagine that? I love how weak you are. It's like, ouch, but fair.
弱いくせに臆病なくせにボロボロになって私なんかを助けに来てくれた
Aw, that is kind of sweet if you think about it like that.
その強さが好きなの。あなたと同じ時間をもっと過ごしたいの。 あなたを失いたくない。あなたに生きていてほしい。
You'll look at me?
僕は化け物なんだ。
私だって
Yeah, I was about to say, I was like, we're all monsters here, buddy. It's okay for me to keep on living.
君がそれを選んだなら生きていていいんだ。
I hear a voice from the sky. And with that, I understand, because our minds are directly connected. I perceive a certain feeling that right now, at this very moment, his life just vanished.
匠が死んだんだね。
So even if she had killed us, it would have made maybe about in like seconds. In that moment, Rimi quickly sensed the emotions my face conveyed. Hesitating for a moment, I gave her a faint nod. She's kind of in a no-win situation here, isn't she? Like, I even wonder too, like, is she going to be able to go past that guilt, feeling like she should have been able to save him, and yet not being able to save him because she also can't bring yourself to end him. God, it'd be so confusing. Don't cry. I don't want you to cry. Feelings returned to my entire body. Warmth returned to my body as well. Even though my movements are still clumsy. Even though I'm still trembling. With the hands I can move, I take out a vermilion handkerchief. Rimi's face is covered in tears. The droplets that are so beautiful, so clear. Softly wipe them away with all the memories you've given me.
僕も君が好きです。
Aww. That's very sweet of him. Rimi tightly clasped my hand as if she was wishing to cling to it forever. As if to confirm that we exist right here. The warmth within us is contagious. Both mine and your temperatures melt together. The two of us look up at the sky. Without a doubt, it's covered by clouds. But...
光は電磁場の波。その振動現象を人の視覚は色として捉える。
Are they gonna delude that the sky is blue?
その言葉。
Words that only he and Rimi should know. Words that he used to give Rimi hope. And yet I know them, because I've seen his memories. He and I are one in body and soul. My memories are shared between us. His memories of the 17 years of life he lived were passed down to me. And he has vicariously experienced my own year and a half of life. Oh, so in a way, he kind of got to live. Man, though, he lived as like a neat otaku. Oh well, maybe he liked the anime too.
望む色を当てはめれば、
If we apply the color we desire to our own dead spots.
僕たちのあの空の色は取り戻せる。
Aww. We know the color because in that image world of only sea and sky, the color we gazed up at and burned into our memories. Now, are we just deluding ourselves, or are we actually manifesting this? Because manifesting this would be cool. Suddenly the rain stops. In an instant, the clouds vanish. It's clearing up. Coming back. Something that, no matter where you look, always seems to draw you in. Gently blankets the world. The blue sky above. I do love the sky, though. It is so pretty. Ah, it's so cool. That actually was really well done. I didn't think we were going to be doing the whole ending. Because normally you have to replay so much stuff, but we just went right to it. Dang. I do think it's like I am a sucker for just skyscapes and everything. Clouds and sky, and I get the appeal for sure. Dang, I really didn't think it was going to be the end here. We'll see if there's something at the end of the credits. For now, I'll skip through the majority of the song, because while the song is fantastic, it absolutely gets stolen by the... Oh wait, never mind. Maybe we should look at these sequences. So there's Nanami with, like, what's left of Takumi. And now he's passed on. But she has her hand back, though, so I don't know if this is real or not. But yeah, I'll probably skip this just mostly because, like, it gets claimed so hard if I don't have, like, myself talking over it the whole time. And, well, it's easier to summarize my thoughts when it's not playing music. So we'll get there when we get there. I'll see you at the end of the credits. All right. All the stills were fantastic. Just everyone being all sweet. And then, oh, like, randomly, the figure abandoned in the rubble. I mean... honestly, probably for the best. He needs to leave that behind. Ah, mages. So, what shall we say? What grand secrets are we going to reveal at the end? Or is it just going to just cut to the end, get my achievement, and we're all done? So far, nothing. Okay. Reached all ending and reached the blue sky ending. The Prelude Delusion of Zero has been unlocked. Oh. Oh, so there's more. Congratulations. Oh, that's so sweet. Oh, that's fun. Cool. So we got to the end. We made it. Very cool. But looks like there is one more thing we get to cover. Oh, fetch me. Oh, cool. And Prelude. Okay, so yeah, we have more to do. We have at least one more episode to do. So I don't know how long that'll be, but we're absolutely gonna tackle the Prelude next time. That's fun. I love it when the title screen is played with. Usually it's very subtle, but I've always thought it's a really fun feature. And finally having the blue sky is very, very, very cool. All right, yeah. I suppose that is going to be the end for now. So thank you so much for being here today. Thank you for joining me I'm surprised we got to the end of Blue Sky right there. So yeah, now we just have the Prelude, which, is that just going to dive more into Rimi's past? Or maybe it's going to go into like Takumi's like actual like where he got to the point where he decided to make a delusional version of himself. Because that could also be really interesting, is to see where that all came from. Yeah, so surprise, surprise. Again, that's the best part about like using a spoiler-free guide is I had no clue that this existed. So that's a fun thing to discover, and then we'll jump into it next time. But overall, that was a much better or satisfying ending. I always talked about how like the initial endings, like ending A and B, were both so just unsatisfactory. And even some of the endings with the other girls were so just like, eh. Like, I was really starting to wonder if it could actually deliver anything. But that ending was fairly sweet. I'm curious to see, because, like, now that I know Chaos Child is a thing, I don't know what it's how it ends up being, but is it going to, like, actually follow some of the same characters? Or is it, like, taking place years later and maybe just hints at some of the events that happened in this story? That's going to be really interesting to see, because I wonder how you follow up a story like this. Because Steins Gate, when they did a follow-up, their follow-up was basically an alternative reality that helped explain how the true ending was achieved. But I can't see that Chaos Child would do that unless it's tackling other stuff. I don't know. That's gonna be really interesting. Obviously, don't spoil it for me, but I am very interested to see how Chaos Child comes out. And it's funny because a lot of people I've heard say Chaos Child is such a fantastic visual novel, and I've even heard people say that the only reason you should play Chaos Head is to make sure you're ready for Chaos Child, because Chaos Head itself is kind of like okay, but Chaos Child is where like the real gold is. So as we get ready for that, maybe that could be the next fan vote. If not, we'll have to kind of slot it into the Wednesday like stack to kind of like the eventually get to, probably, because I can't see myself not playing it at this point. The question just being, do you want to see it now or do you want to see it later? Because when we do finish this, we'll do a wrap party, and then between like the last episode I publish and the wrap party, we'll be doing a kind of a live community vote where we'll decide what the next series we play on the Friday slot of the channel will be. It's become kind of a tradition. Very excited to see, and it's kind of nice it's happening around the end of the year. We'll be able to talk about it a lot. We'll have a lot of time to kind of chew on the idea, so I hope you look forward to that. Thank you so much for supporting the channel, by the way. If you're being here and you're still here especially, like, please and thank you so much. You're wonderful. I don't deserve you, and I'm really grateful for you, and I especially don't deserve those of you who are also supporting the channel directly through YouTube membership or Patreon. Just know I've got some nice little surprises coming up soon. My whole world has been absorbed into preparing for this like trip I'm going to be going on. So I apologize I haven't given you guys the TLC you deserve, but I promise there's some really fun stuff in the horizon for you specifically. Anybody who is a direct supporter of the channel is going to get some, not exclusive looks, but some good looks into some of the projects I've been working on for the past couple months. Not a whole lot of progress has been made, so I have to slip it in basically whenever I have gaps in my work day. But I've been making progress on some things, and I'd love to share it with you. So look forward to that. But anyway, thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for joining me in the blue sky and hopefully you'll see me again. Well, not next week because I'll be gone when I would normally publish that, but the week following, leading into the end of the year. So thank you so much for your support, and until next video, watching me, see me next. I'll see you there.